Hey beautiful people, hope you're having a great start on Friday, and I'm really excited to jump in and share a little bit about 3 things to do when the pressure's getting a bit too much as well. And I know at times we can all get like in that pressured state of like whether that's rushing to an appointment. Hey Diane, great to have you on, babe. How are you? Thank you for the love. So hey Nick, great to have you on, babe. Hey Di, lots of people just jumping on. This is fabulous. It's great to see you all this morning. I hope you're having a great day, or start to your day at least. And talking about obviously like 3 things to do when the pressure is getting too much as well. A lot of the time we can really place like additional pressure on ourselves, particularly, hey Belinda, great to have you on. Hey Karen, we can definitely place additional pressure on ourselves as well. When we've got either a lot going on, or like I said, even just rushing to an appointment, or we've got like the grocery list, we've got like all this like to-do list going on in our mind as well. Hey Brooke, great to have you on. Hey Paula, lots of love. Brooke, I was only thinking of you the other day, sweetie, so I'm going to reach out to you this morning because I've got a question to ask you. So definitely like the pressure, it all builds up at times, and we can all feel like totally overwhelmed, totally just stressed, feel like, you know, sometimes like we can't breathe, or that it's all just getting too much. And so some things that we can do immediately to help set ourselves free from this, because when we're in that pressured state, obviously, you know, we're not thinking straight. We feel like pushed and pulled by life. Perhaps we might feel angry, or we might feel frustrated at least, or at least like irritated or impatient. We tend to be less emotionally resilient. We tend to snap at other people around us perhaps, or, you know, we're not as loving as what we would normally be if we're feeling like the pressure's on, the pressure's on, the pressure's on, all this stuff's got to get done, all these things have got to get happening, and we tend to be a lot shorter, you know, or a little bit snappier, like I said, with loved ones, whether that's our kids or whether that's other people in our relationships as well. Hey Kim, great to have you on. So number one thing, when you recognize this coming up in yourself as well, hey Emily, great to have you on, babe. When you recognize that this, like you're feeling that sense of pressure, or perhaps maybe you're getting like a burning sensation in your belly, like anger kind of raising up. Thanks so much, Em, that's very cute. So perhaps, you know, you're feeling this pressure rise up from within, or the anger is starting, or you're just noticing perhaps like tension across your shoulders. So the more that you are consciously aware of how you're actually feeling, the more tuned into your body, the quicker that you'll actually be able to pull this up. I know years ago, like I used to be under just so much pressure and so much stress that it actually felt really normal for me. So I didn't actually realize what was actually going on, and my ego mind was freaking out and trying to control everything. And a lot of that is actually what causes like a lot of that internal pressure around who we believe that we need to be, or what we need to get done in a day as well. And so number one thing, when you recognize this, just stop for 5 seconds and breathe. So if you're rushing to an appointment, you can obviously still continue to drive the car and things like that, but it's just going to take 5 big deep breaths. Now what this does, it switches you from that adrenalized fight flight state of go, 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 got to get it done, because in our autonomic nervous system, we have parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. Hey Mick, great to have you on. So these two, like the sympathetic is the go, 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 got to get it done, the adrenalized fight flight state, and the parasympathetic is like our body is able to rest and digest our food. And so if you eat on the run all the time, like your digestion will be definitely compromised as well. Hey Donna, great to have you on too, darling. So when we're eating on the run, you know, that puts like a lot of pressure on our system, because the body's like, oh my God, if I'm like trying to escape the tiger, like if we take it back to old caveman days, then it's very difficult for the body to actually relax enough in order to digest our food. And then that leads to like a whole bunch of gut issues and can affect our serotonin, which of course is our feel-good hormone. So like even taking 5 big deep breaths before we eat can definitely be a great thing to do. But 5 big deep breaths slows down our body, and it actually helps us switch from sympathetic, which is the go, 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 got to get it done, back to parasympathetic. Now, when we're in parasympathetic, it's not that you can't function, it's not that you can't get things done. You just feel so much more relaxed and at peace and a lot calmer in your body because you haven't got as much adrenaline running through your body. Now, this is imperative as well if anybody's trying to lose weight, simply because if we've got too much adrenaline and too much cortisol running through our body, that really does play havoc or wreak havoc on like releasing weight very easily as well. Hey Cindy, great to have you on. Hey Leanne. And this can really impact things like long term if we're in that constant push, gotta go, gotta get it done state, simply because like if we take it back again to caveman days, that's a stressful state for the caveman to be in. So the body's not going to release weight because it just sees stress and it's like, is this like a famine, or like do I have to escape things, like what's going on? So it's going to hold on to everything that it's got in that moment because it's unsure, it's uncertain, it doesn't know what's actually happening. So it's definitely such a simple thing to do, isn't it, Belinda? Like, and it takes 2 seconds or 5 seconds, you know, if we're doing 5 big deep breaths, but it just switches us back. Now, we can't solve a problem from the same level of thinking that created it. So creating this breath also allows the space for the conscious mind to ask a new question. So this can be really, really, really powerful as well, which is, what do I want instead? Instead of this go, 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 got to get it done, got to, like, it's like, I might want to move through my day feeling calmer, feeling more peaceful, feeling more aligned with my life, feeling in a state of flow. Or it might be like, I just want to actually go and have like a cup of tea or something. Hey Jason, great to have you on. So all of these things, we can actually ask ourselves a new question when we are in a reactive fight flight state. Thank you so much for the love. I'm totally feeling love this morning. It's great to have so many people on as well. So when we're in that fight-flight state, we're in a state of reaction. And so our survival mind, our back brain is in survival mode. It's like trying to figure things out like really fast and on the fly. And when that's actually happening, we're operating from our subconscious programming. And when we're in that state, like I said, we can't be coming up with new solutions or how we're actually going to best move forward from that if we're actually stuck in the old level of thinking or the old way of thinking. So number 2 is like, and our subconscious brain actually reacts 5 seconds faster than our conscious brain can think. So 5 big deep breaths also allows the space to ask a new question. Now, questions control the quality of your life. Like literally, the types of questions that you ask yourself every single day will determine your level of thinking or where you're telling your mind to go. If you're asking a question like, why is my life always like this? Why do I always do this? Why am I always late? Like all of those are shitty questions. They're going to make us feel like crap. We're literally telling our mind to search for all the reasons why we're wrong, why we're bad, why we're always failing, or what's going on. Like that's so unresourceful, and it's such a habitual habit from our human mind. You know, I can put both hands up, done it all and done it for years, and it's painful. Hey Naomi, great to have you on. So ask yourself a new question. You know, what do I want instead? Or what excites me? Or how do I want to move throughout my day? Or what do I love? Or what am I grateful for? Any of those things, hey Martha, can be really, really, really empowering as well. So definitely, number 1, like taking 5 big deep breaths, which allows your conscious mind to catch up. Then ask yourself a new question. Now, the third thing is, this is one of, honestly, my favorite tools ever. Like, it's such a simple tool, and yet it has set me free. I've spent like over 150 grand on my own education and personal development, and this tool was free, and it just, the irony never escapes me. It's so funny. My 2 favorite tools both were 100% free. So, but in obviously understanding all of the other concepts around the mind and how the mind works and how, you know, our psychology and everything else, definitely I've been able to tie it in at a deeper level. So it's not gone, I guess, without benefits of obviously doing that study. But like this, and I'd highly recommend you guys to check out the website, which is just www.thework.com. It's by a lady called Byron Katie. Now, if you've not heard of Byron Katie, she's an amazing, incredible woman. She's, I think, in her 60s or 70s these days. But basically, she woke up when she was 42, and she had been angry and depressed for like 12 years straight. She didn't get out of bed for like 3 months. She ended up being an alcoholic. She woke up in a halfway house, and she had the greatest epiphany that day that all of her thoughts were actually causing her suffering. It's not the event that actually causes the pain. It's actually the thoughts that this shouldn't be happening, or this is bad, or this is wrong. Hey Sal, great to have you on. That actually causes the suffering. And I agree with this like 1,000%. I have questioned so many of my unresourceful thoughts, and even it's great to question even sometimes like our resourceful thoughts, but if it's like an empowering one, if it's helping you, if it feels great, then like that's obviously like a great thing to move forward with, knowing full well most humans are wanting to feel loved, they want to feel appreciated, they want to feel safe and secure, and they want that sense of certainty, and so a lot of the time like our mind will go into wanting to control situations or wanting things to be like a particular way. And so if we're seeking validation externally, so through other people, or wanting love, wanting appreciation, what this work does, what the questioning does, and the questioning of our thoughts actually does, is will set you free from all of that, knowing full well anything you need is 100% available to you internally. Now that's a big statement, I realize, and in my experience, when I do the deep questioning work, hey Trudy, great to have you on, darling. Yes, absolutely. There's definitely freeze as well, and I've certainly experienced that that whole paralysis where our body like shuts down, but where we can't speak, or and perhaps you've had one of those situations as well. So the deep breathing will help just to bring oxygen and be able to take you from your back brain back to your front brain as well. So definitely, but like jumping back in around the thoughts. So our biggest human fear, and I love like Tony Robbins talks a lot about this, and I remember when I first heard it, I was like, really? Wow. I thought I was the only one that ever felt this way. I thought everyone else was like cool and had it all together and felt totally okay. But our biggest fear as humans is we're not enough. Like, I'm not enough. I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not thin enough, or I'm not tall enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not muscly enough, whatever it is. We have all got our own wound around that and our own story as to why we believe that thought is true. And so it's a painful, painful thought to have. And our deeper fear underneath that we're not enough is that we won't be loved. And that's because we're hardwired that way as babies to belong and be accepted by our parents, or by, it doesn't even have to be our biological parents, it can just be somebody that's actually caring for us. And they've actually done studies around this where even if babies have food, oxygen, water, all the physical needs, but without the tactile touch and sensation of being held and being loved, the baby will either pass away or fail to thrive at the very least. So this is like, it's hardwired into us to actually want and need that. But it causes us pain and suffering, particularly the older that we get, and if we've had relationship breakups, or if there's, things going wrong, or like we feel like we've failed or we've made a mistake, a lot of the time we're beating ourselves up with such hard thoughts, and we develop this inner critic that just makes us feel like rubbish. Like, I don't know about you guys, like I definitely have an inner critic, and she can be vicious at times. And so it's about really starting to recognize, when is that part of ourselves like coming out. Some people call it the monkey mind, other people call it the survival mind, the ego, like all of those things. And the thing about the ego is it makes everything good, bad, right, wrong, black, white. The ego judges everything. And so it's from our heart and our soul, and it's from that deeper part in ourself then that we truly set ourselves free, which is what I love about the Byron Katie work, because it really is questioning, is this thought true? And how do I feel? How do I experience life when I believe this thought? Does it create me pain and suffering? So if we're going to do an example on that, that would be, you know, I'm not enough. Can I absolutely know that's true? And like your first response may be, yes, it really does feel true at the moment, and that's okay. And then the second question is, can I absolutely know that that's true? So if I had to really like question that forever, like if I had to be able to say yes for that forever, could I really say yes forever? And 99.999% of the time, I found in my personal experience, it's always a no when we question at the deepest level. And so then it's like, well, how do I feel when I believe that thought? Gosh, I feel like rubbish. I feel like I'm a failure. I feel like I'm not enough. I feel worthless. I feel invaluable. And it takes you very deep, very quickly emotionally. I had a lot of tears. I like used a lot of tissues when I was doing this work for 2 hours a day, every day for 7 weeks straight. Like I had a lot of negative thoughts that I wanted to get rid of. And so it was something that I consciously did every single day. These days, whenever I sense that there's a painful thought coming up, I will do this work. So if I'm having, like I feel like I've got too much pressure, or I've got too much on, or I have to do too much, or I have to do it all myself, any of those thoughts are causing internal pressure. And it's not that we won't go out and still do things, you know, it's not that we're going to lay down on the couch and like not do anything then. I think that's the fear that the mind has with without the pressure. It's like, well, if I don't have the pressure, I'm not going to do anything. And I'm here to say it's not true. Like you have so much freedom and so much flow, and we're so much more productive. Hey Jerry, great to have you on. So much more productive when we're operating from a place of, oh my God, I feel inspired, or I feel excited to do this, or I feel called to do this, or I'm like when we're coming from our heart and our soul energy, as opposed to the ego mind going, you've got to do this, you have to do this. You know, if you don't get this done, you're bad, you're wrong, you're guilty, you're a failure, like all of those things. So the third part, or the fourth part of the questioning is then taking us from how do we feel with the thought to how do I feel without the thought? Who am I without the thought? Oh, I'm free, I'm liberated, I feel calmer, I feel more energized perhaps, or I feel excited, or I feel just like free and light. And in my experience, it's always like just brought me back to this beautiful, beautiful place of calm. Now, our thoughts are like onions as well. We've got many, many layers to our thoughts. And studies say, you know, there's 60 to 90,000 thoughts that we have every single day. And chances are that they're the same thoughts as yesterday. So we're quite repetitive with the stuff that we actually tell ourselves and what we're actually, how we're actually living our life every single day with our thoughts. So this is not a one-time process. It's not like once you let go of that one thought, it's gone and it's gone forever. It'll be like pulling off a layer, and you don't know how many layers are there until you kind of get to the place where it's just like, I just feel free around that now, or I don't believe that thought anymore. Like I honestly just don't believe that thought. So we can dismiss the thought very quickly, or the thought just disappears. Like you just literally don't have the thought anymore. So it's a really, really powerful process. So definitely check it out on www.thework.com. And we only, in my, in all the work and everything else that I've done, in my experience, we only let go of something when we realize it's hurting us. So it's like when we pick up a coal from a hot fire, we only let go of that coal in the moment that we realize it's actually burning us. So we drop it in that moment. So the painful part of like doing the questioning of how do I feel when I believe that thought, even if it invokes deep emotions, it will literally set you free, because the mind goes, oh, holy crap, like this is actually really hurting me from having this thought, and it will set you free every single time. So blessings to you all. And hey Marguerite, great to have you on, babe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you all, and I truly wish you all just a magnificent Friday. And even if you just took one of those things out of those three things, so deep breathing, asking yourself a new quality question, and questioning your painful thoughts or stressful thoughts, all of those things will set you free. But even if you just do one of those, I promise you it will make a difference in your day today as well. So have a magnificent rest of your day. Lots of love. I'm off to go do a social media training course. I had a lot of fun doing that yesterday, and off to do that again today, and then playing this afternoon. So that will be fun. So I hope you guys have a great day as well. Bye for now.